I'm back with another Cymbalta update. I realize it's been 2 years since I posted my first Cymbalta video, and now I am completely off the medication, so I wanted to talk a little bit about some of the withdrawals I experienced and kind of my anxiety journey with medications and stuff like that. Also, don't mind the rice paddle. I noticed that when I put this clip on my shirt, my hair sometimes hits it and makes the noise, so this is gonna completely stop that noise from happening. Well, one of the reasons I love doing YouTube is I honestly couldn't remember when I started the medication, and so I got to go back and look through my videos and see that I posted my journey with starting Cymbalta over 2 years ago, which is insane. It's been a while, so I can't believe I've been on that medication that long. It's crazy. But now I'm totally off of it, and it was not a pleasant experience coming off of it, and I'm still dealing with some withdrawals. So I attempted to stop taking it a couple of times throughout my journey. I want to say like 6 months ago, I tried to stop taking it, and then on day 3, I would get such bad brain zaps that I couldn't function and get through it and get through my work and stuff like that. And then I tried to stop taking it, I want to say it was a little over a month ago. Same problem on day 3. The brain zaps got pretty bad, and I was like, there's got to be a better way to taper this down. Now, the problem that I was experiencing is that I was on the 20 milligram of Cymbalta, which is the lowest dose that you can get that I'm aware of. I know that throughout these past 2 years, I've tried different dosages. So at one point, I know I tried 40 milligrams for a while, and then I even went up to 50 milligrams. I know the recommended dose for people for anxiety specifically is 60 milligrams. Sorry, my cat's blocking the window right now, but I don't want to move him. He's so cute. But yeah, it was just, I don't know, it was, the side effects just never made those dosages worth it to me. And so it just didn't work for me. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to go back down to the 20 milligrams. I just noticed that I had really low libido and sex drive and just a very numb feeling overall. And to me, that wasn't worth it. And I'm someone who's very sensitive to medications. And if the lower dose does the trick, then fine. But I took Cymbalta in the first place to try to help my anxiety. And that's not the first one I've tried. I've tried a few other ones, including Zoloft, Wellbutrin, and Celexa. And I thought that Cymbalta would be good, and my doctor thought so too because of my Crohn's and dealing with joint pain and nerve pain and that kind of thing. But I don't know, it just really didn't do it for me in terms of anxiety, and that was the whole reason why I was taking it in the first place. So I was like, why am I still taking this? I really just need to come off of it. I'm also hoping that I can start a family soon, and that is not one of the medications that is safe for pregnancy. I also want to mention, because I was also taking buspirone, and I stopped taking buspirone 2 months ago, and I was on 5 milligrams twice a day. And again, it was one of those that I just really, I don't know, I just felt like it wasn't helping my anxiety. It wasn't doing really much of anything. I actually stopped taking it pretty quickly. So I think for 2 weeks, I went down to 1 5 milligram, and then I just completely stopped taking it, and I was totally fine. I didn't notice any difference in my anxiety, and I didn't notice any withdrawal symptoms. So that was really interesting to me, because a lot of times I recommend tapering as slowly as possible, but I wanted to see what like a quick taper and a quick stop would do, and it just didn't affect me much. So I'm pretty grateful for that. I know some other people might have different experiences. And to all of this, I want to say that this is my own personal experience. This is not a substitute for medical advice, but I find that sharing your story about these things it's really important, and a lot of people can relate. These withdrawal effects and tapering off of medications and stuff, doctors don't tell you much about that. They don't give you a whole lot of information. Some do, but a lot of them don't, and that's why I'm here to share my story about it. Now, Cymbalta, unfortunately, or Duloxetine as it was called, was not as easy to come off of as the buspirone. So I want to say it was about a month ago that I started opening the capsules and dumping some of the beads out. And I told my doctor this, and he said it's not necessarily a good idea, but if it was working for me, then that's okay. I would just gradually throughout the weeks pour more and more of the beads out, and then just put the capsule back together, just because I didn't want to affect, I know some people recommend dumping out, putting it in yogurt or applesauce and stuff like that, but I just wanted to make sure that it was getting to the place that it needed to in my body with the coated capsule. And please make sure that you are talking to your doctor about this before you go and try it for yourself, okay? Because I wouldn't want anything bad to happen to anyone as a result of copying what I've did for my experience, and maybe it worked for me, but it might not work for you. And especially if you are on the higher dosages, make sure you tell your doctor that you want to taper down as slowly as possible. I think that's really, really important. While I was tapering down, I didn't really notice too much of anything. I noticed that when I was taking Cymbalta duloxetine, I slept really, really well, and I was starting to have a little bit of trouble falling asleep, staying asleep, and I was getting some nightmares and vivid dreams here and there. But I also noticed that my libido and my sex drive was increasing and getting better, so that was a really big plus for me, especially with wanting to start a family soon. And then when I completely stopped taking it, I want to say that was 2 weeks ago, I started to deal with some really bad nausea, but barely any brain zaps, like maybe a little bit, but it wasn't debilitating. It didn't leave me bedridden, but the nausea definitely left me bedridden. And I was also vomiting a lot. Pretty much every morning and afternoon I was throwing up. Some of it was like projectile vomiting, sorry if that's TMI, and some of it was just throwing up. I just couldn't keep much down, and I had no appetite. I was barely eating. And so with that, I lost a lot of weight. Unfortunately, I lost about, I want to say about 10 pounds, which for me is a lot of weight to lose, and I'm still working on getting it back. But unfortunately, as of today, like, I'm still dealing with some of the nausea. I've also noticed that my sleep quality isn't as good, but it's harder to get up in the morning. It's a little bit harder to fall asleep. I'm still having really vivid dreams. I've been getting a little bit of hot flashes here and there, but I do notice that my libido, like I said, is getting much better pretty quickly, which I'm very happy about. I also do want to say that there was an increase in anxiety. I feel like that has, at this point, being like 2 weeks after completely stopping taking it, has gotten a little bit better, and I was anticipating the increase in anxiety because that's what they say. I was also anticipating an increase in depression as well, but I haven't noticed that, and I do deal with a history of depression, unfortunately. The last withdrawal that I've really noticed was irritability. I'm someone who, I don't really deal with PMS symptoms. I'm not an angry or irritable person ever, and I had, I think, 2 evenings where I was getting pretty irritable. I was like bumping into things, knocking them over. I knocked over my wax melt warmer and got wax everywhere, and then I was just feeling this like really irritable feeling that I can't explain, and I wasn't directing it towards anyone because I'm very mindful about that. I always felt like I'm in control of my anger and my irritability if I ever do feel it, which is very, very rare. But with that instance, I almost felt like I wasn't in control of it. Luckily, I did not direct it at anybody else. It was just directed at myself, and I was like, I'm just gonna go to bed. And then when I woke up the next day, I was fine. And I don't feel today that I feel any irritability or anger or anything like that. So that's a good thing, I would say. So that's my experience coming off of 20 milligrams of duloxetine. Those are some of the withdrawals that I experienced. And lastly, I just want to get into some things that have really helped get me through these past few weeks. And I've noticed a noticeable difference, and I just wanted to put it out there. As always, check with your doctor before consuming anything that I'm mentioning, but I would say that this is pretty safe for a lot of people. So for nausea, I am obsessed with anything ginger. I love ginger. I get these little frozen cubes from Target, and you could chew on them. You could put them into some hot tea. You could blend them into a smoothie. There's a really great variety of things that you can do with the little frozen ginger, or even getting yourself some fresh ginger. I just opted for the frozen cubes because when I'm dealing with the hot flashes, I find that the coolness really helps. Also live with the anxiety too, but with the hot flashes, and then you're getting the benefits of the ginger for nausea, which is a huge plus. So besides the frozen ginger cubes, I also like anything Gingens. I've loved this brand for a very long time because it helps a lot with my Crohn's disease symptoms, and I am someone who gets nauseous pretty easily. I've also been really obsessed with saffron. Saffron has been wonderful for me in terms of helping me stay focused, helping my mood, helping anxiety a little bit. And when I started to feel that chest pressure come on of a panic attack, I got this Spanish saffron from Trader Joe's, and I take one of the little threads that's inside, I put it under my tongue for about 2 minutes, I chew on it a little bit, keep it there for as long as possible, and then eventually swallow it with some water. And saffron has a lot of wonderful benefits. It's one of the best herbs and spices that you can get out there, but it is very pricey, so just keep that in mind. But I really enjoy taking this, and sometimes I take a nootropic focus supplement that also has saffron in it. I need to actually get some more of that, but I really enjoy that as well. And that one, I believe, has a saffron extract in it. So those are a couple of things that have helped me get through these past few weeks dealing with some of the Duloxetine Cymbalta withdrawal symptoms. And as I said, I completely stopped taking the buspirone, and then I have one more medication that I'm on for helping anxiety. It's the only thing that helps my panic attacks, but I do need to come off of that before I get pregnant. So that's kind of what I'm working on right now. I'm going to see a behavioral health specialist here soon, and hopefully we could talk about some pregnancy safe options, because I still get the daily panic attacks, like no matter what, which is why I was saying, like, coming off the buspirone, coming off the Cymbalta, it hasn't changed that, it hasn't made it better. And now being off of both of them, it was like further proof that it wasn't doing anything to help those panic attacks. And I also want to try some more natural stuff to try to help that. Some more like mindfulness practices, meditation, kind of whatever the behavioral health specialist will be able to help me with. And I'll keep you updated on that journey if that's something that you are interested in following along. So let me know in the comments if you want me to talk a little bit more about how my stuff is going with the behavioral health specialist. I haven't seen them yet, but I could make some videos talking about my experience and some of the things that we're trying out. If you want to share your experience with stopping taking Duloxetine or Cymbalta or any of the other anxiety and depression medications in the comments, please feel free to share them, whether it's good, bad, ugly. I think it's really important that we have this discussion and we talk to each other and lean on each other for support through this, because it can be really difficult for some people. I really appreciate you for watching this video, and take care, okay? Take care of yourself, take care of your mind, your body, your soul. I appreciate you. I hope you have a beautiful and blessed day, and I'll talk to you in the next video.